Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Pamela Lezundi with your technology and social media news. Remember that you need to keep that social distancing or wear that mask if you have to be in crowds. It's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Use network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if the Vodacom outage did affect you in any way. Results of this are coming up later in the program. Firstly, here's what's coming up tonight. It's 16 days of activism against women and children abuse, and this week we have an app that helps people report this. We meet a 65-year-old grandmother who has topped the download charts in South Africa and find out how some are using online spaces to avoid gatekeepers. And our discussion is on the Loeries with CEO Putesh Suraj. During South Africa's hard lockdown, we heard that cases of gender-based violence reported to the police had gone up. Now there's a new app that aims to address this challenge.
So it's thought 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of gender-based violence in their lifetime. Vodacom says their solution is an intervention to assist the victims of gender-based violence.
This is Bright Sky app. It's a service for survivors of gender-based violence. The technology provides an immediate connection to the police. This reduces fear for those using it, but also saves lives.
The app is called Bright Sky SA, and it's a static app that helps victims of violence to access information and services. It's free to download. Within a few days it will also be zero rated, which means that you will be able to navigate the app with no cost to the user, so the data will be free. And it essentially is an app that offers various amounts of functionalities. So the first one is, if you go into it, you can assess whether you are in an abusive relationship. As we know, many women don't always know all the signs. We think that gender-based violence is only physical abuse, but there's so many other forms. And so what the app does, through little case studies and role plays, it shows you that there are so many forms of gender-based violence.
So what if I told you that with the push of a button on a smartphone, you can actually find help for a victim of gender-based violence anywhere in the country? So today, we are here in Mabopane to meet Lisedi, who developed a cell phone application through which victims of abuse can seek help, guidance, and counseling.
Sabela app provides direct communication to organizations specializing in dealing with different types of abuse.
We've developed an app called Sabela app, which is a gender-based violence app. It's our internal app that we've built for our people in South Africa. So basically the app, what it does, you will report the incident of abuse through the app, and the communication will get to the SAPS. And the other thing is we have a list of NGOs that deals with different types of abuses. And with those NGOs, based on the location that you are at, you'll get the ones that are nearby. So with regards to that, we thought that because most of the people don't have money for transport or they can't travel due to COVID as well, they can do online meetings, they can do online communication with the social workers.
In Detail Advertising has also released a crime reporting application. The app gives users the ability to report crimes.
The reason that we created the app was to just give people the ability to report crime and also to share crime information quickly and easily in their communities. In South Africa, the average person is more subjected to crime, and we should have more governance in terms of being able to share their crime info and have access to that crime info, as we're the ones that are being attacked. So we decided, well, let's create an app that will allow people to quickly and easily report a crime, and when they report their crime, quickly alert all the others around them in the community, giving the chance for the community then to also be aware of the crimes that are happening around them and also contribute information about that crime that can be used by the security, by the police, to actively investigate and follow up.
So these apps are already available on Google Store and on Huawei App Gallery.
That is a massive problem that we must continue to address as a country. Now, a 65-year-old grandmother has been topping the download charts in South Africa. She says she just wants to be a one-hit wonder and has managed to bypass music compilers at radio stations. This song has been a trending topic on social media for over a week. The artist is 65-year-old PhD candidate Alpha Selepe, otherwise known as G65. She utilized the internet to promote her song and sell it. It has gone all the way to the #1 spot in South Africa's digital downloads.
I need to thank the lockdown. Why? Because it was like I was bored of some sort. Then there came the idea, and it said to me, you know what, I want to do something that will take South Africa by storm.
In the past, it would have been difficult for her to bypass radio music compilers.
I wrote a letter that is a cover letter, and I attached my CV and I sent it around to the big DJs, but most unfortunately I didn't get any response.
South African hit Jerusalem by Masa KG and Nomcebo Zikode was already popular in South Africa when a group of friends in Angola posted a video as they danced to the song. That created an online challenge.
That dance challenge, it went viral, and then everyone started wanting to participate to do the dance. And then the more they're doing the dance, and the more most of the people are getting introduced to the song.
Because of the internet, the song then moved to new markets internationally. It is still one of the top 10 songs to search for on online song identifier Shazam. It peaked at #1 in September on Shazam. It's on more than 250 million views on YouTube. Online content creators are taking a lot of eyes from TV. YouTube has organized a virtual conference for content creators this week.
If you're a creator and you are in this mind and you are in this space and you are competing with other creators, not only just creators that are individual people, but you are competing with companies that have their content on YouTube, you're competing with other platforms, it really becomes really important that you have content that really resonates and is authentic to the voice that you want to be able to get across.
Online content creators often don't have fancy TV equipment. They don't have budgets for big productions. They rely on good storytelling and content the public is interested in to gain popularity. Daud Pungula's YouTube page has over 50,000 followers, and his posts sometimes get over 500,000 views. He does Zulu entertainment news with a huge focus on Maskandi musicians.
We have a lot of people online, we have people here in the palms of our hands. Hence, you get to see that traditional media wants to start working with online sensations because they know what they have fans, they have the numbers. So that's why you'd find they want to work with online sensations because they know that they have the followership.
Some believe the online space has allowed many to access new markets and bypass gatekeepers on radio, TV, and the rest of the entertainment space.
Efficiency, speed, and affordability. And that's what we find in social media. So I believe that social media will definitely take over traditional media, especially when it comes to music and other types of content, because you curate your own material.
But because of a lot of choices online, pages can't be easily missed. YouTube says make sure your content has a mass appeal. The online space has definitely changed the way we consume content, and it's up to traditional broadcasters to figure out how they can survive within this new reality. Now let's find out about a new restaurant that is a digital-only restaurant without a physical space that we can go to have a meal.
During the heavy lockdown, South Africans with access became accustomed to online orders and deliveries of food.
You can just get into Mr. Deliveries app, place your order, it comes. The nice thing also is that it comes warm. It gives the same experience as if you are here.
Food delivery apps have capitalized on this new normal. We even saw the development of new mobile applications that help deliver goods to parts of the country where some of the big delivery brands wouldn't usually go.
We found a niche market where I can locate drivers and create an app that will allow you to, at your door or at your home, sit and just order food and come through with everything. I mean, right now, our competitors, your Uber and your Mr. Delivery, they can't even reach to our township.
Restaurants too have embraced this new business model, but the relaxing of lockdown levels have seen customers flooding to their favorite restaurants for a dining experience. Cloud Dine, a fully online run restaurant, has taken the new normal to the next level with their paperless concept.
The essence of how this virtual or cloud restaurant or kitchen was born is that we have seen franchisees are taking quite a bit of pressure with the traditional restaurant model, and that is because of really high rentals. The restaurants typically in a prime site in big malls, and then there's the labor component with lots of staff members needed to run it successfully, and thirdly, a restaurant has got quite a big administrative burden. Obviously, with the onset of COVID, our plan for this virtual or cloud restaurant was accelerated.
The restaurant uses delivery apps such as Uber Eats.
It is a central kitchen. Consumers have got no access to it, apart from going online through our delivery partner platforms. You place your order, that's restaurant quality food made in the central kitchen, and we deliver it right to your doorstep.
The eatery opened its digital doors in this COVID-19 pandemic and aims to open more throughout South Africa.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. After the break, we chat the Loeries with CEO Pritesh Suraj. SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Now, the Loeries are the biggest marketing and advertising awards in Africa and the Middle East. There's also Loeries Creative Week, which has a lot of discussions about the sector.
In South Africa, a woman is murdered every 3 hours. It's a statistic so numbing we turn a blind eye, leaving what happens in the dark in the dark. For 16 days of activism, SA's only woman-focused insurer brought it into the light.
This chilling Fox P2 campaign won Grand Prix at this year's Loeries in the ambient category. It's for a First for Women Insurance 16 Days of Light campaign.
That died there. The actual shed Joey and Anisha Fanikek were hung in. The actual mattress Clarissa Lindor was stabbed to death on. The actual rock used to crush Yannicka Malo's skull.
Network BBDO Group Chief Executive Boniswa Pezisa was inducted in the Loeries Hall of Fame this year.
We are the most youthful, the most vibrant, the most dynamic continent, and yet we don't see that about ourselves. If we can just bring all that energy together, we are unstoppable because creativity comes natural to us.
Impact BBDO Dubai won a Grand Prix prize for art direction for this print craftswork called Hidden Allergy for Novomed Allergy Clinic.
Residents held prayers.
Celestial phenomena.
Lunar eclipse.
Solar eclipse. Solar eclipse.
This astronomical sales for MasterCard is theirs too. It also won big at the ceremony. There were 264 Loeries awarded in 16 categories this year. Now, the Loeries took place as a virtual event for the first time this year. These are marketing and advertising awards that often take place as a physical event every year. This year, there were all kinds of discussions that took place during the Loeries Creative Week. And some of this year's big winners include Joe Public and their client, Chicken Licken. But to talk to me more about this year's Loeries as they were virtual for the very first time is CEO Pritesh Suraj. Now, hello and thank you very much for being a part of our network. Pritesh, tell us how the first virtual event went this year.
Overall, the feedback that we've got has been amazing. The key thing I think that's really, really important about our first virtual Loeries is that we allowed access for more people than ever before. A physical event, by its inherent nature, doesn't allow you to have as many people attend. So we had more people than ever before from across Africa and the Middle East and across the world attending this year's Loeries.
Yeah, but surely there were some limitations with that event that was taking place virtually.
So being online is a challenge because you don't have the same human interaction that you'd like. So the human interaction, I think, was the overarching thing that was missing. We obviously, when we have a physical event, we get together, we're able to share ideas, and then you're immediately able to discuss those ideas as soon as that actually ends. And that's a limitation, that's a reality of virtual events, is that you don't have access to the speakers directly. The speaker is not just off the stage, you can go to them and speak to them. So I think as time goes by, we have to understand that virtual events are great and they serve their purpose, but having a physical event does have a significant number of benefits as well.
What would you say some of the key learnings were for the marketing and advertising industries during this pandemic year?
I think a key learning for our industry across advertising marketing is that we have a responsibility to society at all times. Even though this was a pandemic, there was a need for our services and the goods that we actually offered, and we needed to ensure that this was done in a responsible way. And this is why, if you actually go out and have a look at it, there is not one major complaint anywhere but anything the advertising and marketing industry has done in a negative way during the pandemic. And this is because this industry has come together and supported consumers and supported society in this time.
Social media and digital campaigns are a category of their own during the Loeries. Why have you made this decision?
Social media is an absolute integral part of the brand and communication and advertising industry. We as the Loeries have special awards recognizing the use of social media. In fact, we have an entire digital category that on a granular level, social media is just one line item of that. And you tend to find that while social media is growing, the reality of the situation is that you find that traditional medium like television and radio is actually finding a harmonious relationship with social media. There's always this talk. I think about it when television emerged, people said that radio would be killed, but it didn't. They found a harmonious relationship. And I think that's what's happening right now with social media. It's finding a harmonious relationship with all of these different mediums.
Would you say the pandemic blocked the creativity level?
Even during the pandemic and because of the pandemic, agencies rose to the occasion, brands rose to the occasion and created content that spoke to the challenges that society is feeling. So creativity as a discipline is ever moving, ever growing, but creativity is linked to innovation. And I think the best creativity comes from periods of challenges. And without a doubt, this period of challenge has resulted in some amazing creativity.
And there are a lot of digital campaigns that some of your winners work on. Tell us about some of those winners.
I think one of the key highlights was Joe Public winning the Regional Agency Group of the Year. Fantastic agency has done some amazing work, and their client Chicken Licken was voted Brand of the Year. But we also have a range of amazing individuals who've done well in a range of amazing campaigns. The Odd Number, a fantastic agency, had a campaign called Kasi Sensei, which they did for BBC, which did fantastically well and was universally loved as well.
And now, Pritesh, would you say that there are lessons that you will be taking to 2021 and beyond?
I think even if we go to a physical event next year, the reality of the situation is this virtual component has to be there. The use of technology to deliver information has to absolutely be an intrinsic part of the Loeries in the way we actually do our awards and our organization is run. So I think you're going to see a lot more technological advancement. We're working with our partners across the board. I'm even exploring what may happen if we ever decide to go down a route using technologies such as Oculus, which is a technology from Facebook, and having a look if that may even be an opportunity for us in years to come. So yes, great learnings, and the opportunity to innovate exists for us going forward.
And Pritesh Suraj, CEO of the Loeries, thank you very much for being a part of our network. With that, let's take a quick break. SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
A blind man completed a 5K run in New York Central Park without the help of any human or guide dog. This is all thanks to a Google research program called Guideline that is still in its early phase.
We humans are born to run, as they say, right? So working with Google and Creative Lab and the whole team, we started small. We started trying to see if I could just walk a taped line and have the phone kind of tell me where to go. And from that concept, from that idea, we decided that we were going to give it a shot. And then we were all stuck in our homes, looking at each other, thinking, what are we going to do? So in a way, it gave us an opportunity to really step back and say, we want to solve this human problem. So the Google team went to work, software engineers went to work, and we came up with this guideline concept together to be able to help people who are blind run independently, and to be able to be in Central Park.
Through the AI process known as machine learning, the program uses a library of images to guide a runner on his course. Guideline operates on a smartphone like any app and directs audio directions to the runner via an earpiece. With most employees at some of the world's biggest companies now working at home and likely to continue doing so in the coming months due to resurgence in coronavirus infections, more and more companies are experimenting with VR.
We had always been dreaming about these virtual universes, and for a whole year we had been working on how do you maintain close relationships no matter where you are. And then when the pandemic hit, we had these ideas that were like, oh, this can actually be very, very useful to people today. Not necessarily just for kind of relationships, but just generally communicating across the internet more effectively.
Zoom Video Communications said that it expects VR and AR to become a bigger part of online communications in the future, and now in the Netherlands. Dutch police have begun testing a camera and software system capable of identifying when a motorist is driving with a mobile phone in their hand as part of efforts to reduce traffic accidents.
The camera takes images of every vehicle that passes, and then the computer analyzes those images to work out which ones are drivers holding the phone. And if a driver's not holding the phone, it gets deleted immediately. And if a driver is holding the phone or interacting with their phone, then it's sent through to the police to review. A final manual check by an authorized officer before a fine is sent out.
Operating a mobile phone while driving is punishable by a fine of up to 240 euros in the Netherlands, which is about 4,300 rand in South Africa, though the system is not being used to fine drivers yet.
Now, Vodacom experienced a massive outage. This was the second in 11 days. Our Twitter poll this week is asking you if this affected you in any way. Now, 59% of you say yes, it affected your work. We also have 18% of those that responded that say yes, it affected their social life. 4% of you say they were not affected at all. That is a very small minority. We have 18% of those who say they did not notice. We also have responses. Shishi Bambu says it's not Vodacom alone. There was also MTN and Telkom in other areas. Excellent Shirinda says yes, it affected his work. All right, and that's it. That's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za, on email. From me, Siphumelele Zondi, and the rest of the team in what has been voted the best city in Africa in the recent Tourism Awards internationally. Durban, have a good one. It's bye-bye.